the Israel-Hamas war drags into its 6th day. The total death toll has risen to 2,500. Palestinian Health Ministry says 1,200 people have been killed in Gaza in Israeli strikes. Israel endured a massive multi-pronged surprise attack from Hamas on Saturday, triggering another war. 1,300 people have been killed in Israel so far. In the latest, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has landed in Israel in a show of solidarity with Washington's closest West Asian ally. Blinken will meet senior Israeli officials, possibly including the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, to discuss further boosting military support. But he will also meet with Palestinian and Jordan leaders in Amman on Friday. Hamas has reportedly fired a barrage of rockets at Tel Aviv in response to Israeli strikes. The group says strikes are in response to the Israeli strikes at refugee camps in Gaza. Germany has extended its military support to Israel. The country's defence minister confirmed that Berlin will allow Israel to use 2 Heron drones the German Air Force has in use in the country. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has called for an immediate end of hostilities. Just like Vladimir Putin, he too blamed the US for its role in the conflict. He said that the US had been sabotaging the United Nations' decision to create a Palestinian state. The Israeli Defence Forces have admitted that there were some unspecified indications, but no major warnings the night before Hamas launched its massive attack. Senior intelligence officers reportedly discussed the signs on Friday night and agreed to continue the conversation in the morning. The Israeli forces were caught off guard as the attack was launched early on Saturday morning. The admission comes a day after the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected reports of Egypt warning Israel of a big attack 3 days in advance. The Israeli Prime Minister vowed to wipe Hamas off the face of the earth shortly after forming an emergency unity government. Addressing the newly formed war cabinet, Benjamin Netanyahu declared, and I quote, "Every Hamas member is a dead man." Netanyahu has temporarily settled his political differences by including centrist former Defence Minister Benny Gantz in the new government formed for the duration of this crisis. Israel has amassed thousands of troops, tanks and other heavy armour around Gaza as it executes a total siege of the Strip before potentially launching a ground offensive. The threat of a multi-front war is also looming large as Israel came under fresh attacks on its northern borders from militant groups in neighbouring Lebanon and Syria. Supplies ran low in the Gaza Strip, where power went out last evening after the only power station in the territory ran out of fuel. With this, all medical facilities risk going out of operation within days, triggering a greater humanitarian crisis. On the other hand, the US President Joe Biden made his first call for restraint over Israel's response to the Hamas attacks. He was urging Israel to abide by the rules of war, even as more arms and ammunition supplies from Washington arrive in Israel. The US confirmed at least 22 American citizens have been killed in Israel.
You heard President Biden speak very powerfully and very clearly to